So, I picked this one up in a recent Switch sale for the grand total of £3.39. Can a game this cheap actually be good? Or would I be better off spending this on a pint in the pub? Let's check it out. First up, let's talk about gameplay. You start as this little guy not really knowing your purpose as you walk through this really barren landscape. It's kind of depressing, really. In this side scroller, the game doesn't tell you an awful lot, but the beauty is that it's just incredibly intuitive. You find this train, boat, ship type thing. I don't know what to call it, but that, my friends, is your purpose. This frames kind of like a management simulation part of the game where basically you have to work out what these buttons do and get this beast rolling. To break up the management sim aspect of keeping that beast going, you basically have checkpoints where you have to figure out pretty basic puzzles, to be honest, that either let you through some kind of gate that gets you to the next area, or maybe add something cool to the beast boat. Yeah, let's call it a beast boat. Some of these additions might be quite good and quite useful because the management sim element of it is quite basic, but you're always doing one thing or another. You're repairing something, you're putting out a fire that's gone on in the beast boat, you're releasing steam, you're making it go faster somehow. So there's quite a bit to do. Some things make it easier, but the main thing is about experiencing this game. So this whole thing is about just getting from point A to point B. You're not really given a lot of info why, but you've got to do it, and it's just an experience. You could even compare this in a way with walking sim games. Now let's talk about the look and the environment. I don't think the footage that I've captured does it justice at all, because the game looks great. I played this both in handheld on my Switch OLED and docked, and it looks exceptional. I love the art style, the way the landscapes are portrayed. I think it's beautiful, really. The environments don't change tremendously throughout the game, but let me say this now, the game takes about 3 to 3.5 hours to beat, so changing it up too much might have been to the detriment of the game, not really that much of a positive. What you do get, though, is different weathers, night and day, and it really does change it up to make it feel so different. The environments do mix it up a little bit, the music changes it a little bit, but ultimately you're doing the same thing. The puzzles are generally quite similar, but you don't mind that. Again, it's a short game, but you don't mind that it carries on doing what it's doing, but just very well. The next thing I'd like to go into would be the music. It's quite minimalist, to be honest. There's not a huge amount going on here. Sometimes you're like, this would make a great soundtrack that I could listen to. Other times you're thinking, can I have some music, some kind of sound? You pick up these radios on the journey, which I thought would make a massive difference, but I didn't really find them doing an awful lot. They seem to play a couple of tunes, but one of the big things in this is energy for your boat beast. So that could be anything you've got on your ship at the time. Those radios definitely found themselves on the fire, if I'm honest. This game is an experience. I was asked after finishing it, what's the story about? And I said, I don't know. It's weird, the story is just purpose, doing what you need to do to get where you want to be, and I loved it for exactly what it was. It's aimed at those of us who like a short game that make you actually feel something without overburdening you with the story, or even allowing you to come up with your own rationale of what's actually going on. If you're a fan of games like Abzu, or even walking sims like What Remains of Edith Finch, I'd say you will really get value in something like this. Also, for those of you who want a break from AAA titles and just sit back and relax with this one, definite value. But as a caveat to that, I can definitely hear Pete and Eddie on our podcast saying that they don't like to spend a lot of money on games and they like to get a lot of hours out of them. This isn't that. This definitely is not that. It's definitely hard to score a game when it's 3 hours long. 3 hours is such a short amount of time when you spend money on something. In the Switch sale, as I said at the start, I got it for £3.39. I say that's fair enough. I've been looking at this game for a while and I was even thinking about dropping £15 on it, something like that. Maybe at that price, it's too much for 3 hours. But anything in a sale, and I'd say it's definitely one to add to the indie collection. I'm giving this game a really solid 8 out of 10. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, it really helps. We also have a podcast released every Wednesday, everywhere you normally get your podcasts. For now, it's GG.